Hello, everyone. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our complete beginner's guide to Frostpunk, shall we? And we are building houses here to try to get everybody out of the cold, and we've got a tutorial about weather changes, and we talked about this before, anticipating, what's going to happen with the weather, and you could see the temperature gauge. So, for example, we can click on this and get the temperature overview. You can see how, the hunter's hut, they're fine, actually. So that's why we don't have to worry about them being close. And this is livable, as are these tents that we're building in the back row, but they're not comfortable. Livable is fine. Honestly, I'm okay with anything chilly and above. If you start getting into these three, cold, very cold, and freezing, that's when it's worrying. So we're just going to kind of push O to close that up and let it go. Everybody's working. I'm going to speed it up. It's at free time, so they should be finishing building these things. And every time we build a house, even if it's not the best, you do what you can. I mean, there's no more room around this ring. That's just the reality. In your village, you could have maybe, built the child shelter further back or not built it at all. You could have also built the medical post somewhere else, but I like it right here. And now immediately we need people to work in the medical post. But when you have a structure like the medical post, it is worth mentioning this is engineers only. Engineers just like the catch-all for skilled laborers. So what we need to do is peel off some engineers from another job and look around and see if we have any engineers working. And indeed we do. We have 6 right here. So I'm going to I'll put 1 there, but I'm going to put the rest of these engineers over here. So now this is getting fully staffed, and we'll start to see this number of sick people go down. And also you can see the discontent goes down. 5 people are immediately being treated. Now this can only hold, the medical facility right now can only hold 5. So 3 people are kind of like down on their luck until you could click on patients and you could see where they're at, their status, and eventually these people will get better and leave, and then these 3 people can come in. But we might want another medical post just in case. All right, and another thing that we can build. All right, so we have enough tents. We have the child shelter. We have a hunter's hut with another being constructed. But it's time to build a workshop. We need this immediately. So I'm going to build this. And we'll build it, it's fine to build it just right here. The workshop is what lets us research. And we don't even have the tech tree button available to us right now because we don't have a research facility yet. A workshop, and we need this. We actually probably want to build more than 1 to expedite research once that becomes viable. But for now, 1 is okay. But we need it because if you don't research, you won't be able to scale fast enough to keep up with the game's, degenerating conditions. All right, so discontent all the way down, and now, we have a gravely ill person. So that means we'd love to build a medical post, but we can't at the moment. So we might have a person die because they aren't in medical care. Now we need 5 engineers to work at the workshop. So I'm going to peel off, oops. That was the tech tree, which we did get. It's over here. So now the tech tree becomes available, but we'll look at that in a moment. We'll say no engineers here, and where do I have any engineers? Anybody working here who's an engineer? Yes. So then I will put all the engineers over here. And then once you get engineers staffed at the workshop, this is the workshop button here. You can click Add New Research. And I'm going to click it, and it opens up the technology tree. Now the technology tree, let's kind of break this down so you can fully understand what's going on here. There are right now 4 tabs to go across. There's heating, exploration and industry, resources, food, health, and shelter. And on the left, it tells you what level of tech that we're at. So currently, we are kind of at level 0, which means we can only build stuff at the very top. And if we want to build things down here, we need to level up to drawing boards. Now, drawing boards will allow us to research Tier 1 technologies, and it takes 50 wood. You just have to click on something to see what it takes. What do we want? Well, the quest wants us to build a beacon. Absolutely, we want that. But there's a lot of other things that would help us tremendously. For example, faster gathering will help us if they're at the gathering post or not, but it's a 15% boost. It's amazing. The coal thumper is going to be vital because this allows us to get coal from under the ground. And once we've gathered all the surface coal, this is the only way for us to get coal currently. The sawmill allows you to gather the frozen trees. If I push escape, and you see how right down here, for example, there's these like frozen trees around the edge of the rim of our area. That's what you can gather with the sawmill. Again, that's a limited resource, but we can get it. I'm pushing T for the tech tree. We can also get a steel works, which will extract iron ore from deep deposits. And if I hold Alt, or actually if I just move over here, I think I have to be looking, well, anyway, this is iron. This is where the steel work can actually operate from, and it's the only place currently. So you save this for 2 steel works. Then food, health, and shelter. The hunter's gear allows people to get 20 food instead of 15. So this is a great boost to food. But what becomes the most important for me would be the beacon, maybe the coal thumper. The beacon takes 10 wood. It's pretty easy, but we don't have any wood at all right now, so we have to wait. And time is passing. It's going to be a new day. Here we go. And now we can introduce a new law. Now, this is important to us because... Oh, by the way, let me mention... You see how there's the red number is sick people, and then down here, the gray first aid symbol means people being treated. So we're going to go to the Book of Laws, and we're going to open up adaptation. And I can actually go down here to medic apprentices, which children will help at medical facilities raising their efficiency. So I'm going to get this, but you could also, which is, you know, very reasonable instead, is to come down here and look at getting like radical treatment, which is you attempt to operate on people, and if it doesn't work, these people become amputees. And then you can also go at sustain life, which is basically like a convalescence home where you create a place for people to kind of like keep people alive, but you don't try to treat them. And hope will raise slightly, but it says the gravely ill will not be treated and remain a burden. The gravely ill will take up beds in medical posts. So this is a really tough decision where you have to think about, you know, like, what do you want to do in this position? And I actually choose radical treatment because this is just for me, right? Like, it's not the nicest thing to do, but if you choose radical treatment, it says the gravely ill will be treated and hope rises, and 30% of the people will be left as amputees, but you do your best, and they might die, but you might help them. And I like this better because you have to think of this situation. Nobody wants to be a burden. You know, people are like freezing to death, starving to death. You don't want to just kind of like be a burden. You want to try to help everybody survive. At least that's my idea of how to like justify this morally. And there's really no good moral justification for a lot of this stuff because it's such a bleak situation. But that's what I am going to choose. Now, that being said, we don't even have that person in the facility right now, and we need to build a new one. So I'm going to go to medical apprentices right away and sign this law. And children will help out. So if you look at this, it's a desirable decision that we have made. I think people like this.
Brace yourselves. Cold is coming.
And boom, you hear that horn blowing. And it says, brace yourself, cold is coming. Remember, we noticed that the temperature was going down, which is why as soon as we wake up and actually go to work, we want to start researching something. Now, I don't want to research the steelworks. I accidentally clicked on that. What I want would be either heaters or the steam hub. These are both very good for managing temperature, which is, you know, vital for everything. So we're going to get heaters when we have a chance. Speed it up. And the medical facility, you can see here, the medical post. There's no children in the shelter, so we don't have any. There we go. And they're working. And you could see they've given me the tooltip about sick absences. What this means is that people are sick. So these 5 people aren't actually going to be able to work. So whatever facility they're at is operating at less than good efficiency because they're sick. Now, right here, you could see these people working on wood crates are freezing. It's cold over there. And instead, then, what we're going to do is take away as many people as we can from here and put them into warmer jobs. Because today it's really cold. Like, tomorrow they can work there, but right now it's unbelievably cold. So we have some extra workers. We'll put them here, even though there's really not much for them to do. And, oh, no, never mind. We need hunters. Great. I'm going to go down to 2 people here and put everybody I can at hunting. And let's see. So we have... Let me make sure there's nobody working on a pile anywhere. There is not. Okay, so you can again go to the overlay and look at how we've gone from... the child shelter is warm because it has good insulation, but everything else is like chilly or cold. So what you can do is come over to the generator and you can switch it to overdrive. Now, if you click it into overdrive, you notice how immediately it's getting warmer over in this area. And if I let go, you could see all of these places just raised up. Now, it only affects things in the immediate range, so these people are in bad shape. But it costs... let's look at the overdrive. Come down here to overdrive. So, it doesn't cost any extra coal, but it makes more stress on the generator, so you have to manage it. So if I click on the generator, you'll see there's this overheat gauge right here, and you can click on the temperature overlay or just turn it on and off like that. If you let this go up, the generator can, you know, explode, and obviously that's not good for your game. You know, it's all over for you, but if you do this sparingly, you can kind of get through the cold spells by managing the overdrive efficiently. Now, I'm just going to use it for a moment. As soon as we get enough lumber, I'm actually going to go here because the people in these houses are cold, which means they have a moderate risk of falling ill, and we do not want that. So I'm going to... I didn't want you to actually research that. Abort. I want you to go to heating, and I want you to research the steam hub. So we're going to do that. And here we go. And you can see that the medical post is operating not at the best treatment rate because one of the people who's supposed to be working here is already sick. So how about that? That's terrible. So we're going to let it go, and we're going to go for health, and we want to build another medical post. Now, we do have the kids that are going to help out, but they can't... I don't know if they can train fast enough. So I'm going to put it right here, and it needs a street, and we can just afford to kind of put a street... oh, we don't have the wood yet. Here, we'll wait 1 second. Here we go, and then... There we go. And unpause. Okay, and this says... people from our convoy. Family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. So we'll do what we can, is what we tell them. They want us to build a beacon, and we're going to do that. But let me push T and show you what we are building. We're building steam hubs. Now, these you can place along any road, and they provide heat in a radius around them. Now, they cost 3 coal per hour, so this is going to put a huge strain on our coal, but you can turn these on and off, and what it allows you to do is heat up areas outside the generator's range. Now, you can also build heaters, and what heaters do is certain buildings have heaters, and you can turn them on and off to make it warm in that building. We need both of them, but right now I'm going to go with the steam hub to build these, to help heat these tents, because tents do not have a heater. Some buildings, like for example the medical post, can have a heater. Alright, I'm going to speed it up. And what does this mean? Multiple problems. It's too cold. Right. So nobody can use this facility right now because even if you want to build it, it's too cold. So this is why heaters are good, because, you know, you can make it warm enough. Steel wreckage depleted over here. Yep, and we're almost done with this. So we just have wood crates. That's all we've got over here, and that's okay. That's just to be expected. All right. Now, the next thing we want to do is we're going to go to push V, and we're going to go down to food. And you could see how we actually gained plus 23 raw food per day, but we consume 80, and we're making 46 rations. So we're still kind of running at a deficit. Standard meals. I think... No, we actually have more than what we need, but that's going to change if we get more people. So what I would like to do is think about our labor and think about how we want to allocate these. Now, right now, I'm actually okay, but we're going to, yeah, this is okay. We can always peel people off of coal if we need it to become hunters to get us food. And I actually might do that just a little bit. Gathering post, just kind of, you know, a couple of people off of that and down here. Okay, great. Because our coal is filling up. Okay, great. Now we built the steam hub. We're going to build it right away. So I'm going to go to tech. That's where the steam hub lives, and we're going to put it. Now, notice when I zoom in, you can see the area of influence of the generator, and that's actually going to spread out. So what we want to do with this thing is you put it right on top of a street, and we want to make sure that it covers both all of the tents that are here, and it covers the medical facility and the research facility. So putting it right here, and then we'll let it go and have them make it, will give us nice coverage. Now, always check in on your generator, because look at this. It's, you know, yikes, it's in overdrive, but this gathering post is all done now, so we're going to dismantle it, and we're going to tell people to go work at another gathering post. So we can put some people to work here, and we can put the rest of the people to work over here, and then we still have 3 people left without a job, but soon enough this medical facility will be able to be worked at, and we can build a gathering post to get the rest of these. But you'll start to see that the gathering posts, we're going to run out of free resources, and that's why researching is so important. Oh, darn, I forgot. The gear icon means I hadn't assigned a new project yet. Yikes. Okay, so we're going to go quickly over, speaking of resources, and we're going to be mindful of what we need. And the first thing I want to get is a coal thumper. I'm going to start researching that. Now, if you want, you can build another workshop to speed up the research, but right now, I don't have enough people to do that because I want to gather stuff. If I gather everything and I don't have labor, then I might shift it around to something like that, but for now, I'm going to keep it like this. Now, as soon as they build the heater, the steam hub, and we turn it on, this medical post, people can build it and work there. Now you see how the snow all melts around the heater. Now click on the heater, or the steam hub rather, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get the wording on those confused. The heater is for buildings, the steam hub is for a radius. The steam hub, you can turn it on to only be during working hours, and this is great if you have it only by facilities that people are at during the working day, and it'll be more efficient. But in this case, we want it 24 hours because it's by these tents. Now, these tents currently, though, are livable. So I'm going to turn my generator off of... oh, no, they're livable because of that. Watch this. If I turn this off by clicking up here, these become cold. So we need to actually turn it back on and go. Now, the temperature is not as cold. It should go up, and when it raises again, then we can turn this off, and you want to manage that. You want to be very careful and, be efficient. But if I go to the overlay, you can see that now we're in a situation where people are doing much better with the heat because we have the heater. Now, it's chilly, but it's a low risk of falling ill, and these buildings can be operated. And now immediately, what we can do is get engineers in here. We don't have that many available, but let me find some more. Let me see, do I have any engineers here? Do I have any here? I do. I'm going to say none. I'm going to put all the engineers here, and I'm trying to help the gravely sick person, and we passed a law to be able to do that. And then we could put the rest of the people up there at the coal gathering post, and we're going to unpause it. Now, you see discontent goes down because we've put more people into the hospital. And this medical facility... Oh, wait a minute. I need more people to work here, or to go and to check in. I don't know why. The rest of these people should be able to go to the hospital. Sometimes they're doing something and they don't want to go check themselves in, but let's see if that changes. Okay. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and just look at our numbers. You can see we have 62 food. It's all been processed. The hunters are going out. So sometimes it's a little bit misleading, like how much food you have. Because it's nighttime, and you have to remember that the hunters come back after night to raise up your raw food. We are doing okay on wood and steel. It's not great. Coal is still doing beautifully, but it's going to start chipping down as we build more steam hubs and heaters and stuff. Alright, so we're going to just unpause it. Okay, people have been discharged. And... hopefully, let me speed it up, we can get these people taken care of. If not, people die. This is a terrible situation. It happens. We'll just want to go ahead and pass the cemetery law so that we can treat the dead respectfully.
Work time. Get moving.
All right, work time, get moving. Indeed. Now, preemptively, I'm just going to tell them to build a gathering post out here. Now, make sure you don't build it. You see how it says it'll destroy resources? It'll destroy these trees that are here. Do not build it there because we want to use sawmills to process those later. Just build it close enough to these two facilities such that they're within range, like that. And then we will just kind of put a road. And remember, you can, like, yeah, pretty easily get the road here like that. Great. And we'll just let it go. You can see right here, 85%, the yellow wheel fills up to show you how the technology is doing. You can mouse over to see what you're researching. The coal thumper is what we've got going. And, okay, coal thumper done. Perfect. We're going to quickly go to research, and I would like a sawmill. So we're going to get a sawmill going because you can't do anything without wood. And we have some wooden crates left, but it's going to run out. So we definitely want to be ready for that. One of our people died. Okay, so we've had our first death, but this is perfect. Not that somebody died, but the law book is ready to go, so we can get a law specifically for this situation. And we're going to go with cemetery. I like cemetery over corpse disposal. If you go cemetery, what this means, and you'll notice, by the way, you don't have to play it the way I play it. I am a person who is extremely sensitive, and I want people... I try to be as ethical and moral and kind as possible, and it's not probably the best way to play the game, it's just how I do it. You could do corpse disposal instead. If you do this, you kind of bury people in snow, and then you have no risk of disease from unburied bodies. Bodies are preserved for potential future use, which is like organ harvesting, but hope falls and discontent rises. Whereas if you go cemetery, each burial will keep people from work when they do a cemetery thing, but hope goes up, and you have to build a cemetery, which takes up space. I'm going to do a cemetery, and you see hope goes way up when you do that.
A new law has passed.
And we can click build, and we can just go to people, and you can build a cemetery. Now, a cemetery does not need to be heated, so I'm going to put it way over here by these hunters' huts. Just don't block this coal, like that. And we will just speed it up. Okay, wonderful. And you can see our food is going down, which is not good. Sometimes, by the way, when you assign hunters, the timing is weird. They get assigned to the job, but they actually need to sleep, or it either disrupts their sleep cycle, or they don't actually gather enough food on the first day, depending on when you assign them. So sometimes it's not a clear picture of how much food you're actually getting. But you could see that our food is alarming, but we did build that in time, and people are cold at home. Who is that? This is chili. This is chili. So what we can do is, if I go into overdrive, let me see if that helps anything. And immediately, look, it goes up to livable. So I kind of misspoke before. The generator reaches a little bit further when you go overdrive. The temperature in all heat zones rises by 1 level. Okay, so yes, I misspoke about that. It's not just the heat zones that the generator reaches, it's all heat zones around the generator. So it's it's spreading out. So even though this is normally not here, it is affected. So we can use this, and discontent evaporates, and people will not get sick as much. We did get 2 people sick, but they can be treated because we have enough medical posts. So 2 should be good for where we're at, and this is done. And we can put some people over to gather here, but we don't need that at the moment. I'm not really stressing about that currently. I am more in the business of, I need to keep all of my people here. I can actually probably kick this down to 1 worker and then put somebody over here. Just because you see we have no raw food really that's waiting to get processed. Okay, and let me see what's going on with our food situation, because it's bad. And we might need to get some soup laws until we get more people in the business of hunting. So I'm going to go V, and I'm going to go to our food, and you can see that we get 29 raw food per day, but we're consuming way more than we gain per day. So it's time to build another hunter's hut. So we're going to go to food. And we could build a cookhouse, by the way. Oh, we already have that. No, you only need 1 cookhouse, but you need a lot of hunter's huts. I was thinking of the hothouse. We don't have a hothouse yet. And I'm going to just go ahead and put this right here. And we're going to have to shift some people off of coal to get this going. Now, you can see it's a warm front, so we can immediately turn off the generator because it's getting really, really nice and warm. It's quote, nice and warm is -32. But they brought in 28 raw food. And then our people are going to turn that into 56. So that's just not enough. We're going to need more hunters' huts. And we're going to need to kind of scale back on some collection to get more hunters. So we'll wait, and immediately we'll just speed it up. And it's a new day. So when a new law passes, we're going to look at this, and you could plan ahead. We've already signed soup, and I didn't want to do this, but I think we're going to have to shift over to soup right now. You will see, people do not like this, but we get 5 food rations per 2 raw food. So instead of doubling it, we get a little bit more out of it. And I know that this will raise discontent, like if I do this, basically. But at the same time, our discontent is so low that we're not in any danger. If it's like, down here in the bottom third, or even less than half, you're probably okay, as long as you got good hope and you're not going to be losing more. But we can do soup until we get our food online. And I'm going to scale back our coal. Remember, you can push B. You can open this up, and you can look at, all right, I am consuming now more than I'm gaining because of my Steam Hub. But if it's warm enough, you can see, can I turn off the Steam Hub? Right? We'll look at that. What if I turn it off? What happens? These go down to chilly, but not cold. So chilly is okay. So this will help us save some coal. Now, what I'm going to do is probably take people out of these gathering posts, like right here. Definitely out of this one. And put everybody I can to hunting. Now notice, by the way, with hunting, engineers cannot do this work. It's only workers. This person might be a little bit taxed. You can see how long it takes one person to turn the raw food into rations. And, we can put another person there, no problem. But now we actually have more people in the medical facilities than we can treat, which is not great. And we can introduce a new law. So what we want to do is go back to the laws, and we did cemetery, but I'm going to go ahead and do radical treatment. I forgot, that's why the person who was sick, I didn't pass this law yet. So we're going to go ahead and do radical treatment, because this will lead to something for us. I'll show you, actually, by pushing L for laws. We can go to overcrowding next, and this allows you to basically double the capacity of medical facilities. People don't like it. It makes them discontent, but it's small compared to the fact that you can treat way more people. So I like it. Awesome. Okay, so, there's always something that we're doing. We have to concentrate on getting food at this moment, but we've stabilized coal pretty reasonably. We've got a place for everyone to live. We have good medical facility. We're doing research, and we're moving around our gathering posts and passing laws to deal with, we had the death of a first person, and we built our first Steam Hub, and we're rocking and rolling. Everyone, I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.